Imagine you're 18 years old. You've worked incredibly hard. You've applied for 60 scholarships. 60. And somehow, against all odds, you actually win $2,000 in your pocket, all yours. Most people that age would spend it on something fun. But not this guy. He decides to invest it in the stock market. And then he loses half of it. Gone. Just like that. Now here's the question, what would you do next? Would you panic? Blame the system? Swear off money forever? This young man did something different. He got obsessed. He read every personal finance book he could find, watched every show, studied every concept. And eventually, he started teaching what he learned to his friends. Author of the book. That guy's name is Ramit Sethi. And the book he wrote, I Will Teach You to Be Rich, has helped millions of ordinary people build wealth, pay off debt, travel the world for free, and design a life they actually love. He graduated from Stanford University with a background in technology and psychology. Sethi uses social psychology to help people overcome the invisible scripts that hold them back from financial success. Today, we're going to walk through the big ideas of that book in a way that might just change how you think about money forever. Chapter 1, The Problem We All Ignore. Here's something Ramit noticed a long time ago. Think about people who gain weight after college. Not because of any illness, just gradually, slowly, without noticing. One bad meal becomes a habit. One skipped workout becomes a week off. It sneaks up on them. Money works the exact same way. We ignore our finances. We feel guilty. We talk about wanting to get better with money. But talking about it isn't the same as doing something about it. And here's the trap most of us fall into: we get so overwhelmed with information that we do absolutely nothing. Should I invest in stocks? What about crypto? What's a Roth IRA? Is real estate better? What does the Fed raising interest rates even mean? Sound familiar? Ramit calls this debating the minutiae. We get so caught up in the tiny details, the perfect plan, the best bank, the hottest investment, that we never take the first step. And that paralysis? It's costing us hundreds of thousands of dollars over our lifetime. Here's the truth he wants you to hear: you don't need to be a financial expert to get rich. You just need to get started. And here's proof. Imagine two people, let's call them Smart Sally and Slow Dan. Sally starts investing just $200 a month at age 35. She does it for 10 years, then stops completely. Dan waits until he's 45 to start. He invests $200 a month for 20 years, twice as long as Sally. At age 65, who has more money? Sally. By nearly $63,000. She invested less money. For fewer years. And still came out ahead simply because she started earlier. That's the power of time. And every single day you wait, that's time you can never get back. Chapter 2, Your Invisible Scripts. Now, before we get to the practical steps, Ramit wants to talk about something most money books completely ignore: the stories you tell yourself about money. He calls them invisible scripts. These are beliefs you picked up from your parents, your culture, your environment, often without even realizing it. And they quietly run your financial life from the shadows. Do any of these sound familiar? Credit cards are dangerous, just don't use them. The stock market is basically gambling. We don't talk about money in this house. You're throwing money away on rent. Rich people must have done something shady to get there. These invisible scripts feel like common sense. But many of them are simply wrong. And they're quietly keeping you broke. For example, so many people are terrified of credit cards. They've been told to cut them up, avoid them, treat them like the enemy. But Ramit has a completely different view. Used correctly, credit cards can earn you free flights, luxury hotel stays, thousands in cash back, and protect your purchases like a bodyguard. One of his readers paid for an entire 3-week honeymoon including first-class flights and a luxury hotel using nothing but credit card points. The credit card isn't the villain. Misusing it is. Chapter 3, The 6-Week System. So what does Ramit actually recommend? He breaks it down into a simple 6-week action plan. Week 1, master your credit cards. Your credit score isn't just a random number. It's a number that could save or cost you tens of thousands of dollars over your life. A great credit score means lower interest rates on your mortgage, your car loan, everything. A poor score means you pay a premium for being seen as risky. The rules are simple: pay your bill on time, every single month. Don't carry a balance. Call your credit card company and negotiate away fees. Ask for a lower interest rate. Ask for a credit limit increase. Ask for late fees to be waived if you slip up. Ramit's message: play offense. Most people play defense with their credit cards. They avoid, they panic, they do nothing. Instead, squeeze every reward, every perk, every benefit out of them. Week 2, choose the right bank. Most big banks are quietly robbing you. Monthly fees. ATM charges. Minimum balance requirements. All of it adds up. Ramit recommends switching to high-interest, low-fee accounts, particularly online savings accounts, and making your money actually work while it sits there. Week 3, start investing even with $50. This is the one most people put off forever. I'll start investing when I have more money. I'll do it when I understand it better. Maybe next year. Stop. Open a 401k through your employer today, especially if they match your contributions, because that match is literally free money you're leaving on the table. Then open a Roth IRA. You don't need to know everything. You just need to start. Week 4, conscious spending. Here's where Ramit flips the traditional money advice completely upside down. He doesn't want you to track every latte. He doesn't want you to feel guilty every time you spend money on something you enjoy. Instead, he wants you to spend extravagantly on the things you love and cut ruthlessly on the things you don't care about. One of his friends spends $21,000 a year going out to restaurants and bars and feels zero guilt about it. Why? Because he lives in a tiny apartment and doesn't care about fancy furniture. That's conscious spending. You decide what matters, you fund it generously, and you stop wasting money on things that don't bring you joy. Week 5, automate everything. This is Ramit's secret weapon. Most people's financial plan looks like this: they think about money at the end of the month, feel bad about what they spent, and repeat the cycle. Forever. His plan? Set it up once and forget it. Automate your savings. Automate your investments. Automate your bill payments. When money moves automatically, before you even see it, you stop making emotional decisions. Your future self gets taken care of on autopilot. He says the goal is to spend no more than 90 minutes a month managing your money. And with the right system, that's entirely possible. Week 6, invest simply and let time do the work. Forget trying to pick the next hot stock. Forget following the market every day. Forget listening to pundits on TV who are wrong more than half the time. Ramit's investing philosophy is almost boring: pick a few low-cost index funds, contribute consistently, and don't touch it for decades. History shows that this simple, boring strategy beats the vast majority of professional investors over the long run. Being trendy with your money might feel exciting. But being rich is far better. Chapter 4, What Rich Really Means. And this brings us to the most important question of the whole book. What does rich actually mean to you? Ramit says most people never spend even 10 minutes thinking about this. They just assume rich means a big house, a fancy car, designer clothes. But for many of his readers, that's not it at all. For one person, rich means being able to retire at 33 and travel the country in an Airstream RV. For another, it means funding a school in a foreign country. For someone else, it just means never having to check the price tag at a restaurant or being able to order an appetizer without guilt. Yes. That was literally one of Ramit's first definitions of rich, being able to order appetizers. Because as a kid, he couldn't. Rich life doesn't start when you hit a certain net worth. It starts when money stops being a source of fear and becomes a tool for living intentionally. Moral. So let's bring it all together. Ramit Sethi lost half his first investment at 18. Instead of giving up, he got curious. He spent years learning, experimenting, and teaching others. The system he built isn't complicated. It isn't reserved for Wall Street geniuses or people born into wealth. It works for teachers, assistants, students, and retail workers. Thousands of ordinary people have used it to pay off massive debt, build six-figure retirement accounts, travel the world for free, and buy homes they thought were out of reach. The secret? They stopped waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect amount of knowledge, the perfect financial plan. They took the first step. And then the next one. The moral of this story is simple. You don't need to be perfect with money. You just need to be good enough and start today. Because the only strategy guaranteed to fail is the one you never begin. As Ramit says, the best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And remember, your rich life isn't some distant dream. It's a series of small, smart decisions, made consistently over time. You've got this.